Shot 1. To begin with, we want to open with an establishing shot to inform the audience of the location. Here, we thought the strong, powerful architecture of King's Cross Station roof would be effective, as it is such an iconic, well-known place. We'll film from above as a high-angle shot, looking down on the busy crowds and Blake. It adds to the idea that Blake is being watched and is submissive, as a high angle is often used to look down on people. Camera movement could involve a pan from left to right, and non-diegetic music of our soundtrack, yet to be decided, will be used for this opening. During editing, we may use a blurring or slow or fast motion filming technique to portray the feeling of busyness and chaos in London. Shot 2. This will be a relatively unstable tracking shot of Blake walking across the forecourt. Here we could take the camera off the tripod to get the effect of a point of view shot that the private investigator is watching her every move. Shot 3. A close-up of Blake holding her handbag. This accentuates her femininity and allows the audience to get to know her and her appearance a bit more. We'll use diegetic sounds here of surrounding London life, for example train announcements and general chatter. Shot 4. An extreme close-up of Blake's lips again to accentuate her femininity. We may use this shot later on too to show her putting on lipstick perhaps, or biting her lips with nerves. Shot 5. Low angles are often used in film noirs and can make the audience feel uneasy, as it's an unusual angle to view from. Here we'll use a low angle close-up of Blake tapping her foot or walking down some stairs quickly to show her impatient / running from someone. It instills an element of fear which the audience begin to feel too. Shot 6. Here we want to use a professional slick style shot of a 180-degree pan around the husband's head. Ideally we'd need a tracking dolly, but as we don't have access to one of these, we could perhaps use a skateboard or a tripod on wheels to achieve a similar effect. This is quite a contradiction, as it almost looks as though we're watching over the husband as opposed to Blake. However, actually it acts as an establishing shot, as the husband is first revealed here, and we begin to understand the narrative with that it's the husband that is looking for his wife. This is the key opposing location which the audience are now able to compare to the chaotic scenes of London. We'll use a voiceover of the actor's heavy breathing to portray frustration. Artificial lighting from the studio will be used to create lens flares, shadows and high-key, low-key contrast across the shot. Shot 7. We then use a mid-shot to reveal the front profile of the husband and what he's actually doing. In front of him will be all of Blake's personal effects, like her passport, ID, photos and various letters. His dialogue begins. This is the only dialogue we have. We never hear the protagonist, Blake's voice, at all, which is very unusual for a film noir, or any film in fact. Yet it adds to the idea that her identity is greatly concealed, which is the effect that we really want to portray. Shot 8. Using water spray, we're going to spray the husband's head with water, which will look like his sweat. This extreme close-up of his eyes and sweat will portray his truthful, worried and frightened emotion. His eyes will be wide and well lit by the light sources. Dialogue continues and the soundtrack will be greatly dimmed in the background. Shot 9. This is our key opening shot of the titles. A train arrives at a station alongside the title's identity in a bold capital white font. The soundtrack volume strengthens even louder and will add Foley sound of the train. Shot 9 then evolves into Shot 10, where the train doors open whilst the titles simultaneously wipe horizontally outwards in sync. Various people then walk out, including Blake, who is vaguely seen amongst the crowds. Shot 11. A jump cut to Blake's upper body as she walks out, to avoid revealing too much of her face as we are trying to conceal her identity. Shot 12. A close-up of Blake's hair in the wind to add a feminine touch and a sense of busyness around London, as people chaotically walk around her. Shot 13. Here we will use a low angle again of Blake on an escalator. We could use a variety of shot types to show her getting on the escalator, going up it and coming off of it. Shot 14. The film then jump cuts back to the husband, where a point of view shot is used to show the husband scrambling through the identity document of Blake's. The dialogue continues. Shot 15. We then cut to a close-up of the husband looking through Blake's passport. We'll use my prime lens to achieve a shallow depth of field and clear focus detail on the passport ID photo. Shot 16. Cut to a close-up and the camera pans down Blake's bank statement, and the husband's fingers read off the various payments Blake has secretly received and paid out. He doesn't recognise any of them, and it is here he realises that she has been doing something behind his back. Dialogue expresses this. Shot 17. We'll jump cut back to London scenes. Here we'll see Blake in public toilet changing her appearance into Mia, her second identity. For example, she could ruffle her hair up, change her whole outfit, put glasses and jewellery on, etc. We'll use a range of shots and shot types to portray this. It will then cut to shot 18, the new identity, Mia, walking past London shops in the window reflection, filmed by a tracking shot as she walks past. This stresses the obscurity of her identity whilst also highlighting the location of London. Shot 19, cut to a long shot of Mia walking into a fashion shop in her Blake coat. Shot 20, cut to an extreme close-up of a clothes rail and Mia's fingers trailing over the coat hangers. Shot 21, a long shot matched an action shot symbolisation of Mia walking out of the shop but in her Mia outfit coat instead of the Blake one that she went in. Basically, what has happened is that she's changed her identity/appearance by buying a new coat and changing into that one. Shot 22, jump cut back to the husband in the studio. It will be an over-the-shoulder long shot of the husband beneath bright spotlights. Here he will be accessing his wife's emails via a laptop. Dialogue continues between him and the private investigator. We could also include fill shots here of the screen of emails, the light on his face, and his fingers typing and scrolling down on the laptop. Shot 23, a jump cut back to London. A close-up over-the-shoulder style shot of Mia putting on her lipstick will be seen in a compact mirror. We will be able to see her lips in the foreground and the London traffic in the background of the mirror. Shot 24. We then want to continue this idea that she's wandering around London and we are yet to know exactly why or where she is going. We'll see her sat in a cafe surrounded by London businessmen and women. The audience can easily relate to her as she is doing everyday, ordinary things that are like a film noir protagonist try to portray. Shot 25. Jump cut back to the husband. This is the first of a series of jump cuts that begin to get closer and closer to his face, to stress panic, fear and to warn the audience that something is about to be revealed. This is a mid-shot of the husband from the front with spotlights creating shadows across his body. Shot 26, cut back to London. We'll try to film CCTV style shots such as the camera moving to represent that she's being followed, CCTV screens and maybe even in editing add a CCTV style filter overlay onto our film too. This will portray entrapment and identity. Shot 27, a jump cut to the husband for the second image of the series, where we are now a lot closer to him. The audience feel a sense of alarm, and the music tempo and volume increases significantly too to support this. Shot 28, a cut back to Mia putting train ticket through a ticket machine at a station, to further portray she's on a journey somewhere, yet we still do not know where or why. Shot 29, a jump cut back to the final of the series. This time we have an extreme close-up of the husband's eyes, which will effectively connote his feelings of fear, frustration, worry and anger over his wife's disappearance.